Okie dokie, folks. I do believe we've got fluff and stuff here, or just fluff. Which do you prefer?
Yeah. Either's fine.
Okay,
I
you
don't
just.
really care.
Okay, well, that's good to know because when casting, we always try to go for the shorter one. First of all, congratulations. Secondly, thank you so much for joining us. Were you guys pretty sure you could take the series? Is every day just kind of a we'll do our best, or.
No, we were practicing really hard this week, and we made a lot of changes. Like if you know anything about the history of our team, you
Yeah,
traditionally, yeah, go ahead.
Monkeys Forever. I was sitting there, so Monkeys Forever isn't in mid, and suddenly I'm like, have I forgotten how this team works? Why is Moo mid, and isn't Moo the one who's got a famous slaughter? And I was actually confused for like the first two games. I'm just like, maybe I just mixed up their names.
Yeah, we were kind of like we had a really rough patch for a bit. Um, after like this, after the or before the major, we were just kind of relaxing, and then we lost like a tournament to Leviathan, and we kind of like had a revelation, and then together we kind of just came together and figured out a solution. So we've been practicing really hard this week, and even though we were down the first game, we all felt really confident to take the series.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I just want to say, when you're fighting into a team like Complexity, who's had some roster shuffles, do you try to do research on the new players? Do you go at it with your game plan that's normal? Do you have any particular strategies? I'm assuming that you hadn't actually scrimmed them yet, since the roster shuffles were really new.
We actually had scrimmed them, but this was quite a bit ago, so we we knew what to expect somewhat. But I think under Swindle's leadership, we've played against them a lot of times in the past, so kind of expected something similar.
Yeah. Now, in the first game, I feel like all of those, the first and second games, stomps one in either direction. It very much felt like after the first game, you guys ban out the IO. Why didn't you ban it the third game? Were you just confident you had a strategy against it? Is it just its winner brackets? You're going to be okay? Or
Well, not really. Unfortunately, the way that they decide the first pick is just by a flip of a coin. So we pretty much just had to deal with it in that game. If I was first pick, I probably would have done the same thing. But yeah, we just had to deal with it in that game.
yeah. And also, is it something where you say you just have to deal with it? You weren't willing to give up the other bands? I mean, it was Doom SF, I think. You kind of didn't have options,
Yeah.
I understand, but you're just saying no SF for them on Radiant.
I mean, we probably could deal with any of them. It's just a matter of deciding the what will be worse for us. Like it can be like someone just really hates playing against it, or it's logistically bad for your team. It's pretty much like a team decision when it comes down to that.
Yeah. I also just wanted to say you guys had a really great in the second game. You played a really great Earthshaker. When it's going kind of so easily, you got like a 16-minute blink dagger or something ridiculous. Do you guys just know you're in the driver's seat? Do you ever worry you can throw? Or oh, is was it not a 16-minute blink dagger? Is that not?
Um, I think it's more so the driver's seat. I mean, like in game three, we're our tempo kind of slowed down really, really fast
Mhm.
after that pause, and it was because Complexity was making like all the right moves, and that's when we became aware that we really, really didn't want to take any risks and just buckle up and just wait for them to make mistakes or for us to make the smart engages.
Yeah. And I just wanted two more questions. I just wanted to ask you guys, you picked the tiny without any sort of backup. We've seen a lot of teams will pick the tiny, obviously with the IO is the most famous, but then some teams even go for something like a Beastmaster for the inner beast aura. Are you guys okay running that alone? Do you ever worry about his itemization? Because it does feel like that type of tiny needs a lot more time to come online without the backup.
Um, I don't really want to say because
Oh,
that's
good
just
point.
a strategic thing, but I mean we've tried out the like support tiny, so we kind of have a little
Oh,
bit of versatility just in case. So like sometimes if we feel like we can do it, like people are gonna watch out for that.
yeah, you shouldn't have said that one. That's probably
Uh,
much better than the
no, no,
itemization.
it's actually fine for me to say that because then people will just be afraid of it. Like I don't want to do it, but we can and we're ready. So I mean, go ahead if you want to read it, overthink it.
Excellent. And final question, do you have a preference in who you face up in the grand finals of Star Ladder? I don't know if there's a team you'd be more comfortable with. Maybe you play them more in scrims and have success against them.
I don't even know who's left. I
Oh,
just focus
it's
on series by
DC
series.
and Complexity, of course, are the two teams you could be facing. DC with 1437 standing in for them, of course, since C9 is out of star ladder. So that if that changes your opinions on what you should do.
I I it's too early to tell like how well DC will do. And in theory, like Demon being with them is actually a huge plus since he was so good with C9. But I kind of like playing Complexity. They're actually a really good team, and they're really dedicated, and it's always fun like playing against them. But then it would also be really fun to play versus TC. I just want to beat TC.
Apparently a popular sentiment in Dota, and they have been performing really well after they got back from Nanyang. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any shout outs you'd like to do before we let you go and have a life, probably dinner. I don't know what time zone you're in.
All right, yeah. Shout out to my team. Good job today. Shout out to Max, my manager. He's doing a really good job. He actually got us to scrim like every day for the week, which is really good. Shout out to my pizza, my cat. He kept jumping on my desk and on my lap during the games. Shout out to my girlfriend Kat, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at FLUFFNSTUFF, and I'm probably gonna stream after this after I eat. So
Oh,
if you want to tune in, twitch.tv/FluffDota.
Yeah, and we'll make sure to link those in the channel afterwards because I always think it's really exciting. I know you guys are busy all the time, but it's so exciting to watch you guys stream such high level Dota. So thank you again for joining us. Good luck in the grand finals and the other tournaments you have going on because you guys are also in the Canada Cup that's coming up shortly. And thanks again.
All right, thank you.
And with that, folks,